We're here in the beautiful City Council chambers at City Center South here in Greeley because there's a lot more than just City Council meetings that happen here, things like boards and commissions meetings. Some, not all of them, happen in this room, and there's a lot going on with boards and commissions, and with us today to talk a little bit about that is the Assistant City Clerk, Harvey. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Now, this is all about boards and commissions, and you're in them all the time, but to the regular, average Greeley citizen, what are boards and commissions all about?
Sure. So boards and commissions are a perfect way for our residents to get involved in their community, to have their voices heard and their perspectives heard, specifically to be heard by City Council and the city's management team. So again, a great way for them to get involved in that way, and we'd love to have their voices.
I feel like this is one of those options when people always say that they want to get involved or they want to be something. This is one of those ways that they can legitimately get involved with actual projects and happenings around the city. Oh,
yes, exactly. Yes, their main focus is really to provide that advice and recommendation to council before council makes any sorts of action. So again, a great way to get them involved in that way to, again, have that voice and have that involvement in what's going on in their government.
And they can also kind of choose what they want to do because you guys have a very large number of boards and commissions, right? How many do you guys actually have?
Yes, we have 23, so we have quite a few, 23 boards, and they're spread over a number of different topic areas. So the ones that most people have probably heard of are Planning Commission, Water and Sewer Board, but we have a number of boards focused on different culture, parks, recreation sorts of subject areas. We also have a Human Relations Commission, which looks at a number of different social and cultural aspects of the community, and a Youth Commission, which is a great way to get our youth involved in their local government, have their perspectives heard, and to get them working on some really cool projects.
And curiosity-wise, how much time is somebody looking at as a commitment if they become part of one of these boards and commissions?
Sure, it varies depending on the board. So it could be a couple, 3 hours a month. It could be up to maybe 10 or so hours if it's on one of the higher functioning boards like water and sewer planning, but a pretty good range there.
Nice. And if you want to find out more information about these different boards, is there a place they can go? Do they need to call you, stop by and see you, go to the website?
They certainly can call, but the best way to get all the information is on our boards and commissions website, which is at greeleygov.com/boards. There's information on there about every single board, a nice blurb about each one, meeting dates, times, total number of members, great information there. And while they're on that website, there's also a way to subscribe for notifications. So once a meeting's been scheduled, we would send out a notification for that meeting. If they've subscribed to it, they'll get an email, and it'll have all of their agendas, minutes for that meeting, so they can be prepared and maybe show up and provide some input.
Also be a great resource for people too. Even if they don't want to become part of the board, they could still see what those boards are talking about and get a little more information for themselves too.
Exactly, yes.
Excellent. Now, if they want to become part of the boards and they want to apply for it, what's the process for that, and how often can they do it? When can they do it?
Sure. So again, on the Boards and Commissions website, there's an applications button. So if they just click that button, fill out the application, submit it, comes right to me, and then we filter it on through that process and move it on through there. So.
Seems like a fairly easy process for it.
Yeah.
And when you do pick up people for the boards, what's the process like in the appointment process for them becoming a part of one? Is it interviews and emails, or how's that work?
Right, yep. So it's going to be through interviews. So for our Planning Commission and Water and Sewer Board, those interviews are conducted by the whole council during a work session. What sounds daunting, it's not, but it does sound a little bit scary to folks sometimes. But for all of our other boards, it's a two-person committee from council on a rotating basis, and then myself. So the three of us conduct those interviews, and then we provide our recommendations based on those interviews to the full council. Mm-hmm. Council makes those appointments during a council meeting. And then the staff support for that board that they've been appointed to, we'll reach out to them, get them onboarded and get them ready. We don't want folks to feel too out of place when they start their service on a board. So we do take our time to try to get them onboarded and comfortable before their first meeting. So.
Fantastic. I guess that's great for them so they can kind of feel free to say what they want to say, or they feel like they're trying to fit into whatever mold's there.
Right, exactly.
Well, thank you so much for that information, and best of luck in the future, because I know you have to go through these processes with all the boards every month. I know it's a lot of work on your part, but I'm sure the residents of Greeley are very appreciative for the work you do for that as well. Yes,
and like you mentioned, we do have openings every month, so folks can keep an eye out on our Boards and Commissions website. That's where we post those. And then as far as other updates that come from that, we publish it in the Greeley Tribune for openings every month, and on all of the city social media websites. So just keep an eye out there, and you can see. Also, if folks go out and they see different boards that are open and they're not necessarily what they're interested in, they can certainly look on the Boards and Commissions website, find those boards that are of interest to them and apply, and I'll keep those on file until there's an opening. So.
Well, fantastic. Well, thanks so much for all that, Jerry. Good luck. Okay. There you have it. Boards and commissions, not too tough to get to be a part of that. Go to greeleygov.com/boards, get all the information, find out what openings are, and maybe you could help out everyone with some opinion sharing in Greeley. It's greeleygov.com/boards.